Another Nick no banger.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another very exciting matchup of OCAA men's basketball. I am your host, Mark DeLuca, and alongside me is my co-commentator, Dane Nickel. And Dane, today we have the Niagara Knights taking on the Cite Coyotes, the battle of West versus East, Niagara being the West, Cite from the Ottawa region. What can we expect from these two teams today, and especially Niagara?
Well, unfamiliarity. These teams, obviously, they've yet to meet in the regular season because of being in different conferences. Niagara comes in 12-6. They finish 5th in the OCAA, pardon me. And Cite comes in here. They were the top of the East, a 16-4 record, a big turnaround from last year where they finished with only 3 wins. Tom Hodge has got this team firing on all cylinders. Expect to see some big things today.
Now, you've said expect some big things to see today, and we have to touch upon number 7, Laquan Hilton of the Niagara Knights. What can we expect from this sensational player?
Well, Mr. Hilton, he's had 2 big games in a row, 8 points yesterday with 7 assists. Expect to see another big game from him today. He won't want to let that record slip. He's in a good spot right now, and he'll hope to keep things going.
Now, we talk about guns blazing and players coming in hard, but, you know, Laquan Hilton isn't the only one that's getting a little bit of spotlight here. We have to talk about number 12, Alex Hilton of the Knights.
Yes, Alex Elliott, 10 points yesterday. He was the player of the game for Niagara in their victory over St. Lawrence, 75-60, a big W there for them. Unfortunately, they lost on the first day to Sheridan, 79-69, but they have a chance to win with a consolation game today.
We talked about both Hilton and Elliott being these key players. Obviously, Elliott finishing the game with 10 points. Do we see a little bit of an offensive team happening here with Niagara in comparison to the Coyotes?
I think we do, but not to be outdone, of course, is Hesmael, 25 points yesterday, including a three-point buzzer beater at the end of that game yesterday for Cite in their victory over Algonquin College, an 85-76 victory. And, you know, 25 points, that's a dominant performance, and there he is taking the court now.
And we talk about number 9, Hesmael. He's been doing great during this entire tournament throughout the competition. However, also number 11, Andre Nicholas Nitambura, kind of coming out of a little bit of nowhere, but this player has been great in this entire time.
107 blocks this tournament. That's unbelievable. Unheard of numbers. You can see him taking the court now. He gets the start for the Coyotes. He's firing on all cylinders too. That's incredible defensive play. Native of Burundi, expect him to have a big game again today.
And just a little bit background information on Nitambura of the Cite Coyotes. He was, as a matter of fact, Defensive Player of the Year in the East Division. Third-year forward, led the OCAA with 98 blocks, as we've already said. And he's also second in the league in defensive rebounds with 146 to his credit. So, Dana, this game, do we think, on just more of a personal level, are we going to have a highly defensive style of basketball, or is this going to be an offensive game?
I think we can expect to see some more defensive play. If you look at the scores of these two teams, their games so far in this tournament, Niagara in their first game lost 79-69, and then they won 75-60. Those are pretty modest scores. On the other end, you've got Cite. They lost their first game to Lambton, 101-93, and then they won their second over Algonquin, 85-76. They're scoring a little higher than Niagara is, and I would suggest they may have stronger defense. We'll see how these two things even out.
And as you can see for our viewers, Dane, the starting lineups for the Niagara Knights has just appeared, with number 7, LaQuiet Hilton appearing, number 10, Tyrell Rogers, number 11, Tenero Ferguson, number 8, Johan Jenkins, and number 35, Delroy Granson. Great starting lineup, and it comes no surprise that Hilton is right on the court immediately to go.
Yeah, they're fired up and ready. Cite now getting in place. Number 0, Paul Lafleur gets the start. Number 6, Daniel Gracia. Hesmael, who we mentioned a moment ago, as well as Andre Nicholas Nativambura and John Annalise. Should be an exciting things to come as we're set for tip-off here.
And we have the whistle just about to blow at the beginning of the first quarter for the OCAA men's basketball action. And as the refs line up all the players, we are ready to go.
Quite a height match up there at center court as well.
And the match begins with the Knights pressing fast on the court. And the first bucket goes to the Niagara Knights. 2 points, Niagara, in the first quarter.
That didn't take long, just 3 seconds in, and the Knights have drawn first blood.
Cite coming back up the court. Coyotes pressing hard. And off the backboard, and then tying up the game. It looks like we've already have a competitive game here, Dame, with both teams going at it, getting very quickly 2 points off the get-go.
John Annalise, a quick one there. Him a native of Haiti.
And the Knights pressing again hard on the backcourt, still having possession of the ball. And quickly passing the ball to the outside court to number 35 of the Knights. And a bucket to the Knights.
Delroy Grandinson puts one down.
And nice little finger flip there too, Dane. You know, we see a lot of communication going between the players very early on. And again, a strong defense always leads to a good offense. And I think we can safe to say that the teams are executing that model very well right now.
Grandinson. Nice dish there.
Knights ball still have possession in La Cite's end of the court.
Knights were trying to get a foul call their way. It didn't go.
And a great finger flip for the Knights. Bucket
Nice.
going to the Knights.
One-handed push there from Grandinson. Grandinson, a native of Kingston, Jamaica.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that clarification, Dane. Coyotes pressing down in the Knights court, going for a three-point shot, and to no good. Knights regain the ball. Back up the court, we see Hilton pressing real hard there, and just a little shy under the court, but Knights get the ball right back. Coyotes have the ball now. Current scoreline is 6-2, Knights over the Coyotes with 7:58 remaining in the first quarter.
LaFleur, great patience.
Oh, and a fantastic block coming from the Knights. All around, great little play orchestrated there, Dane. Don't you agree? Nice little control coming from number 0 of the Coyotes, but a sensational block from the Niagara Knights.
Well, LaFleur looked like he had a pretty clean drive to the net here, but Grandison says, get out. What a block.
And we can see the first foul of the game called against the Knights here, I believe.
Grandison looks like they are going to head to the line there.
And a slight timeout from both teams. And Dane, with already roughly 2 minutes into the first quarter, thoughts on this first quarter action so far?
Well, it's been pretty, it's been a quick one so far. I remember, shout out to the Humberhawks for hosting this great event this weekend. For more information, be sure to check out humberhawks.ca.
And like you said, Dan, we are thankful for the Humberhawks and the entire OCAA Association for having this school have the honor to host a fantastic tournament, a very well-recognized tournament across the province. And we can see the coaches still here organizing each other, getting their thoughts, getting their decks in a row, for lack of a better word. But great action coming from both teams. And I think we can already gather how both teams are equal at the same level. We're going to get a very, very competitive match. You do have those games where you can kind of see one team running away with it. But this team is this game and these teams, excuse me, are very evenly balanced.
Yeah, we spent most of the pre-show talking about what a defensive force that Nativambura was, and sure enough, Delroy Grandison makes both of us put our foot in our mouths and comes up with a huge block.
And we can see the Coyotes stepping up at the top of the key. And one goes to the Coyotes. First foul of the game committed by the Knights. And no, not on that one, but the Coyotes regained the ball. Going for that rebound, but the Knights got a great defensive block from the Knights. And number 7, Laquan Hilton, making his way back up the court.
All of a sudden, that foul taken by Grandison seems much better. Instead of allowing 2 points against, you send the guy to the free throw line, and they only put down 1.
Well, it's making a deal with the devil, right, Dan? You always have to gauge that question whether or not it's going to be effective to make that foul, or are you going to take a chance? So you have said in sports before the appropriate foul or the smart move to commit a foul, but very, very lucky play, and it's always a tough one.
Well, when you're up by 4 points as well, early stages of the game, sure, go ahead and take that foul.
The Coyotes making their way back up the court against the Knights. Ball originally going out of possession, now Coyotes ball. Number 6 pending to going for the 3-point shot. And just on the side of the ring.
Hit it off the side of the backboard, but got the ball right back.
Coyotes using the backboard to their advantage. Knights making their way now back up the court. Oh, a little bit missed possession there, but great way to rebound there from number 11 of the Knights.
Narrow Ferguson maybe needs to wipe the hands off. That one got away from him there.
And we saw number 7, Laquan Hilton, going for the 3-point shot there, but just shy. Another 3-point shot coming from the Coyotes. A lot of 3-pointers in this game, Dane, early on. Any thoughts on that?
Just a bit of an aggressive offense, trying to get ahead and doing so quickly. Mael had a 3 yesterday to end the game. I'm sure you'd see a few more of those from him here today.
And we have seen a rise, another 3-point shot coming from the Coyotes, and that one is converted. Scoreline currently 7-6 Lafayette Coyotes over the Niagara Knights. First time in this game that the Coyotes are taking the lead. And it's interesting that we should touch upon the 3-point shots, how lately a lot of basketball analytics professors and basketball analytics enthusiasts have noticed an increase in 3-point shots. You think we can thank Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors for that?
Well, almost right on cue is Tyrell Rogers dropping a 3 himself, right as you were saying. Yeah, Steph Curry has really perfected the art of the perfect 3-pointer. He's certainly drawn a lot of attention in doing that recently.
And we have seen that style of play slowly creeping into OCAA action, as it's been said in this first quarter.
So there's that perfectly placed 3 by Rogers.
Fantastic shot. Oh, pretty. That's an understatement. Just outside of the key. It was a great looking shot, and it worked in their benefit.
Yeah, he was about 2 steps back from the arc of the 3. Didn't matter, though. That one went in pretty cleanly.
And we see another foul committed by the Knights, and the Niagara Knights coach showing his frustration on that last play, not necessarily agreeing with the call made by the referees. And a great swoop up there by Hilton, and a nice little back pass around, and a great block coming from the Lafayette Coyotes, making their way back down the court. Number 9, and ball out of bounds.
And that one over into the snack table. Luckily, didn't knock any tasty treats off of the tabletop there. Make sure if you're in-house to stop by, or if you're coming in later, stop by, get yourself a refreshment.
Another foul call made by the refs on the Coyotes. And we hear the buzzer to get the game going once again. Coyotes have the ball in the Knights' end.
4 fouls so far for the Knights. They've really got to settle down here.
Coyotes still have the ball at the top of the key. Number 15 of the Coyotes going for the 3-point shot. And just short, still Coyotes ball. A nice little finger flip and 2 points.
And Elise puts down 2.
Scoreline is currently tied 9-9. Knights have the ball. And a nice little finger flip, nice cut in center court for the Knights. Knights taking the lead 11-9.
Grandison has had a pretty good offensive game early on in this one for the Knights.
And from the top of the key, going for a Hail Mary there, but again, difficult shot to make. Number 7, Hilton of the Knights, now pressing back up the court. And intercepted by the Coyotes. And now making their way down the court, a great flick. And a perfect counterattack, Dane, can't we say that?
Grandison has to be careful. He came back pretty quickly there and almost put himself into the wall. He'd be a huge loss for his team. He's a big part of their lineup.
Number 22 of the Knights on the outside, maintaining strong possession there, rushing the court, going for the shot, and a fantastic block coming from the Coyotes. And Dane, like we said earlier, this is going to be a highly defensive game, and we've seen the defensive skills coming out in full force during this first quarter.
Well, we'll see what the score is like at the end of the half. That should probably give us a pretty good indication of where this game's headed, whether it's going to be a defensive battle or just a score fest. So far, it appears to be a pretty defensively minded game. A number of missed opportunities for each team so far. There's another one by the Knights.
Number 9 of the Coyotes still sending the ball. Another foul call made by the referees. A lot of fouls in this game so far.
You're absolutely right. Daniel Gracia was pushed out of bounds there. A couple of substitutions made by the Knights coming in now. Number 21, Jonathan Matea, and number 1, DJ Morrison. You can see here what I was talking about. Grandison goes into the wall heavily, falls awkward on that knee. It appears to be okay.
And La Cite converting their first point there at the top of the key. Daniel Gracia. And not on the second one.
2 for 4 at the line, Gracia's been today.
Exactly. The Coyotes got to be cautious on those opportunities, missed opportunities there. They have not converted both points for the and-ones on the foul call, so something to take into consideration later on in this match. Niagara currently has the ball in the Coyotes' end.
La Cite getting their first foul of the match. So back to the line is Jordan McDonald.
Number 33, Jordan McDonald, taking the first shot and converting. And 1 point goes to the Coyotes. Scoreline currently is 13-12. The Niagara Knights over the La Cite Coyotes with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Coyotes ball, going for 3-point shot. And just shy. Knights have the ball now, making their way up the court, down the left-hand side. You see a foul call made by the refs, a push-off they are claiming.
Jonathan Matea getting called for the push-off, so that will take the Coyotes to the foul line.
And we see there on that last replay, the slight push-off by number 21, Matea of the Knights.
He didn't exactly make a good case for himself. The play was almost identical to what that penalty looks like when the referee calls it. He got that left arm out there and really gave a good shove. And decided not to put the Coyotes at the line.
Coyotes currently have the ball in the Knights' end.
Hess lost it, but recovered nicely. Turned it over.
Number 1 of the Knights making his way up down the left-hand side of the court. Point going to the Niagara Knights. Nine rushing to the court, off the backboard, still the Coyotes ball. Coyotes have the ball. Still Coyotes ball in the Knights' end. Top of the key is the Coyotes. Finger flip off the backboard, but no good. Knights have the ball, now making their way for the counter. Number 1 of the Knights executing that left-hand side very well. Going for the shot. Coyotes get the ball back on the rebound. And call made by the referee. And we see here on that last basket day, nice little finger flip from Niagara Knights. Not going for a lot of dunks in this game, surprisingly. We saw the boys warming up pregame, and there was a lot of dunks, a lot of slam dunks going on, but this game has been a very evenly contested match with just going for many three-point shots early on, and a lot of finger flip buckets as well.
Well, we'll see if what happens as this one goes on. Usually you don't see dunks until there's a pretty big disparity in the score or into the later stages of the game. Players don't want to do too many early on and wear themselves out.
Knights currently have the ball, making their way down and get the court once again. Center court, but Knights ball in the end of the Coyotes. I'm going for a back pass there, but ball rolling out of bounds. Just a little off place. Slight communication coming from the Knights. Coyotes ball.
They're giving it to the Coyotes, but it looked to me as though it certainly went off the hand of Nativambura as the pass was going through the arc. Apparently the ref courtside didn't see it the same way.
Coyotes have the ball at the top of the key in the Knights' end. Going for the three-point shot again, and perfectly executed. Fantastic shot coming from number 9 of the Coyotes.
Hess with a big 3. He had 25 points in yesterday's game.
Again, that's Hesmael of the Coyotes, a key player to keep an eye out for the Coyotes. And we see here, Dane, the fantastic three-point at the top of the key, perfectly placed by number 9, Hesmael of the Cite Coyotes.
He's got 3 points so far today. He's a long way from the same number he had yesterday.
Action resumes. A fantastic pass from the Coyotes. Court cross pass, nicely executed, and a fantastic bucket. Another 2 points going to Cite.
And one, Annalise is going to the line as well on that play. But an absolute amazing heads-up pass right down court, a bullet at about chest level. That's what allowed Annalise to make that basket.
Coyotes not executing that and one effectively on that last play. Knights have the ball, rushing the court, and a great little finger flip once again off the backboard in the bucket for the Knights. Scoreline is currently 19-17, the Cite Coyotes over the Niagara Knights, with roughly 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Nativambura keeping that play alive. It does just get out of bounds. Both teams running some full court press.
Cite currently has the ball in Knights' end. Off the backboard, 2 points for the Coyotes. And right on the buzzer beater. Scoreline at the end of the first quarter is 21-17 Coyotes over the Knights. Dane, thoughts on that first quarter?
Pretty much what you would expect, fairly higher scoring than I would have anticipated. But both teams really sticking to their games. Maybe some holes defensively that the coaches will address here during this stoppage.
And like you said, Dane, again, kind of nothing out of the ordinary expected in that first quarter. Both teams very defensively driven. And as we can see coming up right now on our board, we got to give a special thank you to our sponsor, Bel Air Direct Car Insurance, for helping us produce and show you this fantastic match of basketball that we are currently reporting on. And we will have more action later on as this game continues.
Career
focused. We provide practical learning in and out of the classroom. We are chefs. We are programmers. We are community builders. We are technicians. We are entrepreneurs. We are Humber.
Welcome back to the OCAA men's consolation final between the Niagara Knights versus the La Cite Coyotes. Scoreline at the end of the first quarter is 21 Coyotes over the Knights that are currently sitting at 17. Dane, first quarter, like we said before we threw to break, not too much of a surprise. We both knew that these teams were coming in very defensively driven, and we've seen it in the first quarter.
Well, you can see that defensive mindedness, but you can see there's also some holes in each team's defense that the coaches will want to shore up. We'll see what kind of adjustments they made during that stoppage and how things continue during the second quarter.
And we can see on our screen right now that number 12, Alex Elliott, coming into the game for the Niagara Knights. Elliott, who was selected as Niagara's player of the game, finished with 10 points yesterday. So great things to see from him as he currently sends the ball up court.
Grandison with another huge block.
Knights have the ball in the Coyotes' end, still maintaining possession. Number 1 of the Knights slowly pacing back and forth from the right side to the center of court, rushing the bucket right now. And just shy of the basket, Coyotes get the ball back. Now to open number 15 in center court. Going for that flick off the backboard, but no good. Niagara has the ball once again. Niagara's ball, top of the key. Elliott has the ball. Knights still have the ball, going for the 2 points, and 2 points in the basket, going to the Knights.
Grandison with 2 points. He's currently leading the game with 8.
The Coyotes currently have the ball at center court, pressing into Niagara's end. Coyotes still have the ball, top of the key. Coyotes ball, going for that 3-point shot, and just shy of it, extremely close, Dane, on that last three-pointer.
Back up court, the Knights.
Knights still have the ball at the top of the court. Elliott going for 3-point shot, and air ball, just missing the one, but that is a strong team for you there because the team out came out on top. 2 points going to the Knights.
Tenero Ferguson picks up the missed ball from Elliott, makes good on the rebound.
Coyotes controlling this part of the match very well. Nice little back pass there and trickery from number 9, and a beautiful 2 points going to the Coyotes. Great control on that last ball coming from number 9 of La Cite.
A great head fake one direction, and the Knights defense just kind of gave up on that play. But the offense didn't. They got that ball right back up court and put down 2 themselves.
And we saw the great skills of number 9, Hesmael, coming from the Coyotes there on that last play as the Coyotes press down the court once again here. Coyotes have the ball on the Knights' end. Inside the key, going for the finger flip off the backboard. And once again, very controlled, and 2 points going to the Coyotes.
A nice bounce pass from Hess to Natavambura there. That created that opportunity down low, and the Coyotes made good on it.
Knights have the ball now. Just a little shy of center court. Nice pass from number 1 of the Knights, and again, great teamwork there. 2 points going to the Knights.
Morrison takes a penalty there. He was rather aggressive while running the pressure up high.
We see a great pass there coming from number 1 of the Knights, Morrison. And I think we should talk a little bit about him, Dane. We've been talking a lot of coverage lately on number 7, Laquan Hilton, and number 12, Alex Elliott of the Knights. But number 1, Morrison, has shown up.
Well, he's a small player who runs quickly and can drive hard to the net, relatively untested.
A lot of impressive talent during this past match.
He's a difficult player to block. You see exactly right there. He draws all the coverage underneath the net, and then it's a quick back pass somewhere in the key, and it's an easy play for that player who's not guarded.
And a great block coming from number 8 of the Knights to prevent 2 points there
Jenkins with a huge block, you're right.
And the Knights make their way up down the court, and we see once again Morrison just hovering on the outside of that key. And to your point, Dane, he's been perfect all game, executing from the outside flanks and pressing and charging that basket really, really well. His sense of control and his pass is phenomenal. So great to see that, and looking forward to more action coming from him later on in this match. Morrison currently with the ball.
LaFleur in the corner.
Alex Elliott of the Knights, passing skills aside, sending the ball back into the center court, going for the three-point shot there, but no good. Coyotes currently have the ball now, going back down the Knights' end of the court. An aggressive play there coming from both teams. Ball out of bounds, and foul, I believe, committed by the Knights on that last play.
Oh, Rick Kiamba got sat down there by Johan Jenkins.
Coyotes currently have the ball in the Knights' end. Great pass, completely open, and a fantastic little flip there coming from the La Cite Coyotes. Knights have the ball. Number 12, Alex Elliott, passing to the outside. Morrison going for the three-point shot, and a great shot converted nicely. Fantastic passing play there from the Niagara Knights team.
Morrison, he can dish out as well as he can pass out as well. That was quite a drop for Morrison for three.
And we see in this second quarter already a little bit more passing coming from primarily the Knights, but also the La Cite Coyotes. There was a lot of three-point shots going in the first quarter, but a lot more passing in this second one. Why do you think the transition so suddenly?
I think it's a defensive thing in terms of coaching adjustments during the quarter. The break between the quarters, you tell your players to get that offense going and get it up court quickly. You need to get it out of your own end, and it appears as though that's the game plan for both of these teams here.
And we see the Knights going for the three-point shot there, no good. Coyotes currently have the ball. Score line currently in the second quarter, 31 Coyotes over the 31-28, excuse me, Coyotes over the Niagara Knights with roughly 4 minutes remaining left.
There's a huge push off. Elliott got sat down there.
And we talk about the aggressiveness on this game, and we can see in the last play here, right on the replay, how the Coyotes are pressing up the court, going for that three-point shot, and very nicely executed by number 6, I believe, of the Coyotes, that being Daniel Gracia. Knights currently have the ball. Number 12, Alex Elliott. And
on the court for the Knights now, number 13, Vikram Cayley.
First appearance during this match. Haven't seen him yet. Great, nice to see what he can do for this team.
Another substitution on the Coyotes end as well. Number 14, Vincent Villardo. Knights will go to the line for two here.
And we see number 33 of the Niagara Knights, that being Jordan McDonald. And not sinking that first one, but he is a two-point shot, so he has one more attempt.
A quick one in and out. Just gonna hold on to it.
And no good on those two chances. Coyotes now pressing down the court. Knights have the ball. Number 7, Laquan Hilton, making his way down the left side of the court. Switching ends, cross-court pass. Number 4 going for the three-pointer, and executed beautifully by the Niagara Knights. That being number 4 of the Knights.
That's a nice shot.
And we see here on the last replay, Dan, a great three-point shot coming from number 4 of the Knights. Perfectly executed down the middle of the court, and obviously having a nice bucket for his team.
Well, just a beautifully placed shot. That's one of those instances where coaching is key. You aim for that back part of the rim, and that's exactly what he did there. He got just inside of it. A great play.
And just shy on that last and one to no dice. Scoreline currently stands the La Cite Coyotes 33-31 over the Niagara Knights with roughly 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And the Knights pressing the court and a great backward flip right in. And we see the satisfaction of number 33 of the Niagara Knights, that being Jordan McDonald, not converting those last foul shots, but a very, very nice two-point conversion on that one for his team. Fantastic basket. Knights currently pressing down the court once again. Elliott holding on to that ball. Pass off to number 4 of the Knights, back to center court, going for the three-point shot, and nicely executed by the player of the game, Alex Elliott, from the last match, yesterday's match. And we can see that talent definitely coming into fruition here as he approached the court.
Calling a timeout, understandably, La Cite maybe sensing that this one is starting to get away, wanting to shore up the defensive coverage a little bit as they just had a couple of big three-pointers scored against them.
Well, and we can see here on this last play, a nice pass from Elliott and then right back to him. Clearly a play that has been worked in practice before, very well orchestrated. And a smart timeout call by the La Cite Coyotes. We saw a little bit of a rally going on there, Dane, on that last play.
Good job getting here. And the roll, man, you rolled really effective.
I'm fronting
And once again, you know, we have a great OCAA action here, and we have to thank OCAA, Ontario Collegiate Athletic Association, for putting on this tournament. Be sure to check out more information on standings and teams at www.ocaa.ca. And see, Dan, I think it's safe to say that we can say on that last decision made by the Coyotes, smart timeout call as Niagara was quickly picking up fast momentum.
Well, we'll have to make some quick coaching adjustments on this on the fly. The Knights obviously getting a sense that there's a lack of defensive coverage up high, and if they see an ability to make threes, they're going to continue to do so. Tom Hodge will have to make the defensive adjustments accordingly.
Knights currently have the ball. Laquan Hilton making his way. Fantastic pass to Alex Elliott down the side of the court, going for 3 points, but no good. Knights still have the ball. Great rebound and possession there by the Knights. Pressing, pressing, pressing. Elliott still with the ball, going for the three-point shot. And again, just shy on that last one. Coyotes have the ball. Number 6 rush in the court. And a traveling call made by the ref on the La Cite Coyotes.
Daniel Gracie, I couldn't believe it.
And we can see here, Dan, on this replay, slight travel made by the Coyotes. Very, very difficult call to be made by the referees. It happened so quickly, but it was a travel nonetheless.
If you ask players of the game, I'm sure they tell you that half the time it seems like it's a 50-50 whether that play gets called or not.
And a nice bucket coming from number 12, Alex Elliott of the Niagara Knights. Scoreline currently stands 38-33, Niagara over the La Cite Coyotes. This scoreline going back and forth with both teams holding on to the lead many, many times, Dane.
Well, don't count the Coyotes out yet as they drop 2. They've had a sniff at the net a few times from that three-point line as well.
The Knights making their way back down the court now. Number 7, Laquan Hilton in the center court, and comes at no surprise that both teammates, Laquan Hilton and Alex Elliott, working very well together. The two players we had originally said that you need to keep an eye out for during this matchup. Coyotes have the ball, but a little bit of slight miscommunication there from the Coyotes. Ball going out of bounds.
That pass just too far behind Hess. He got a hand on it. It just wasn't enough.
And we can see here on this replay a beautiful shot coming there by the Niagara Knights. Nicely executed three-point shot.
Inside of the arc. I think they only got credit for 2 on that one.
Laquan Hilton still with the ball, and thank you for that correction, Dan. You're right, it was inside the arc, so 2 points going there. Alex Elliott now pressing the court. Nice fadeaway shot there, but ball not cooperating with Elliott, still out of bounds. The Coyotes have the ball now currently, pressing down the court. And a solid block by number 35 of the Niagara Knights, that being Delroy Grandison from Kingston, Jamaica. Ball out of bounds.
Inbounded by the Coyotes now.
Coyotes have the ball, shot clock running down with 10 seconds left. And Knights now have the ball, open court, no one to block their way, and a fantastic slam by number 35 of the Niagara Knights. Delroy Grandison, first slam dunk we've seen this entire game, Dane, and what an opportunity to do so. Nobody blocking him on that last play.
Well, it may not be the most packed house we've seen for this tournament, but that gave the folks here something to cheer about.
And there's the buzzer to end the first half and the second quarter of this match, with the scoreline being 42-37, the Niagara Knights over the La Cite Coyotes. Dane, a little bit of a different style of play, I think we can say, in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that was maybe a little lower scoring than the first quarter was. So you can see those defensive adjustments that the coaches have made. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make during this this halftime going into the next half.
And, well, it's been a great game of basketball so far, and we want to give a special shout-out to our sponsors, Wilson, More You Win, for helping us sponsor and put on this fantastic show for all of you. It's been a great first half, and expect more fantastic basketball here at Humber College in the OCAA Consolation Final. We will see you shortly. You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your OCAA Men's Consolation Final basketball matchup between the Niagara Knights taking on the La Cite Coyotes. I'm Mark DeLuca, and my co-commentator here with me is Dane Nickel. And Dane, how can we assess that first half? A lot of differences between the first quarter and the second quarter, and you'll see coming up a dunk that was last seen in the first half, and you can see it right here on our replay. What an amazing and spectacular play from number 35 of the Niagara Knights, that being Delroy Grandison, with some sensational skills and one heck of a hop going on right there.
Well, he was a couple degrees away from dropping himself on his own head. He put that ball down with some real oomph behind it, and he gave everyone here something to cheer about. It was a pretty looking play.
And as we hear the buzzer signaling the players to resume this third quarter, Dane, the first half, interesting display of games between the first and the second quarter.
Yeah, the defensive coverage was a little tighter during that second quarter, and we'll see if it's gotten any tighter during this third. What the coaches had an opportunity to talk about during the halftime.
And to add to your point, Dane, the first quarter was very, very defensively driven. A lot of both teams taking a lot of chances from three-point line at the top of the key. Second quarter, a little bit tighter between the teams, going just a little bit more conservative, a little bit safer. A couple of finger flip baskets, a couple buckets here, two-point shots. So the third quarter is ready and going, and looking forward to some more fantastic basketball here at Humber College.
You can see at the bottom left corner of your screen moments ago in the stands, the Lambton College Lions have arrived for their game at 2:30 against the Sheridan Bruins.
The Coyotes currently have the ball as a foul call is made by the referee. Ball out of bounds, Coyotes having the ball in the Knights' end of the court, maintaining possession. Number 9 of the Coyotes pressing the court. And a fantastic block coming from number 35 of the Niagara Knights, that being Delroy Grandison. And a little bit of a tuss there at the Coyotes' end. Coyotes pressing up the court, sending to the outside. And 2 points, Coyotes. Number 4 of the Niagara Knights now moving up the court. Niagara still has the ball. Number 7, Laquan Hilton, pressing down the court. At the top of the key, going for the shot, and no good. Coyotes now going on the counter, and almost losing possession there, that being number 0 of the Coyotes, Paul Lafleur, but he still has possession and keeping it in.
That drive to the net by Hess just couldn't go. Too much power off the backboard. Couldn't get the layup to drop.
Knights have the ball now in La Cite's end of the court. Laquan Hilton waiting pensively there, trying to find the opening slot. And ball out of bounds. A bit of miscommunication there from the Knights.
Instead, he just tossed it right between everybody and out of the back of the court.
And we see a little bit of miscommunication and the frustration on Hilton there, discussing what happened on that last play with Delroy Grandison, number 35 of the Knights. La Cite having the ball right now, going for a three-point shot, and it's good. Nice basket there from number 0, Paul Lafleur of the La Cite Coyotes.
That was a great play by Lafleur. He used one of his own players as a screen to evade Hilton. Went the other way, had complete open court. You can see here, he fakes behind Nativ Umbura, goes the other way, fakes out Hilton. He gives himself all kinds of time and space and drops that three.
And a nice switch basket coming from Lafleur. La Cite going for another three-point shot, and it is good. Sinking the threes here quickly in the third quarter, that being number 15, John Annalise, native of Haiti.
Annalise with 13 points. I believe he leads this game in points right now. Now the Coyotes have climbed back on top.
Foul call made there by the ref. The French-speaking institution now leading the score, 44-42 over the Niagara Knights. And number 7, Laquan Hilton, bringing that ball back into play now as he presses down the middle of the key. And nice defensive play from La Cite, getting that ball back, cutting in nicely there in the center of the court. A nice finger flip coming from number 15, John Annalise.
Timeout's been called here by Niagara now, sensing that they had no momentum of their own, yet to score a point in this quarter. However, the Coyotes have come out quickly and put up 9 points already. Make sure to follow the Humber Hawks on Twitter for all of your Humber Hawks updates. Follow them at Humber Hawks. Get all kinds of great information. I know yesterday I found out about the results of women's basketball and badminton. Humber winning a couple of golds yesterday and hoping to do the same again today as the men's basketball team takes on the Mohawk Mountaineers at 5 p.m. this evening.
And like you said, Dane, just to touch on your point there, the girls won, actually, the Humber Hawks women's basketball team won the OCAA Provincial Championship 71-43 over the Mohawk Mountaineers. So shout outs to them real quickly. And to your point, make sure you get on that Twitter because it is one heck of an information resource, I'll tell you that. As broadcasters, we use it all the time.
Absolutely. The women's basketball team, if we can touch on them again quickly, finishing the season with a 21-0 record.
I'd say that's pretty good.
That's quite a year that they've had. And expect them to do good things at nationals.
Very rare when you see a completely undefeated record.
Unless, of course, it's the women's volleyball team at Humber.
Looks like Humber's doing good things. And the play resumes here with Niagara taking that ball, now moving up the court. That being number 4 of the Knights, pressing down the court, cutting across. Still the Knights ball. Laquan Hilton now having possession of the ball at the top of the key. Knights now running in center court, going for the flick off the backboard, and it's a good basket there. 2 points for the Knights. The Coyotes now press down center court, charging the middle of the net. Number 9 outside. Number 6 of La Cite going for the 3-point, but no good. Still Coyotes ball. The Coyotes still have the ball. Nice pass there and a great little finger flick off the backboard. Fantastic passing from the Coyotes there, Dane.
Gracia, nice drop. Good passing with lots of pressure working against them as well.
Niagara still has the ball here. Now in the Coyotes' end. Rushing the court. And going for that basket, but solid defense from the Coyotes. And a foul call there by the ref. You see that We can see here on the replay, Dane, ref calling aggressive play, push off, as a matter of fact, is what the call has been made. And we can see a frustration coming from the Niagara bench, not pleased with the decision at all. Cite currently has the ball, making their way down the middle of the court. Coyotes still have the ball. At the top of the key, Coyotes going for the shot. And no good, but ball's still in play. Coyotes still have the ball. And again, 2 points, Coyotes. And that was a one-handed shot. Fantastic little display of professionalism there from number 15 of the Coyotes, John Annalise.
Annalise has had himself quite a game today. He's got 17 points.
Definitely making a quick impact in this third quarter.
And that spin by Rogers, he went right into one of the Coyotes. He's taking a foul as a result.
And we see number 13 of the Niagara Knights coming into this game once again, that being Vikram Cayley. Coyotes still have the ball now in the Knights' end. Long lob pass there. 2-point shot called by the ref.
Daniel Gracia to the line. He's got 13 points this game himself.
And going for the first shot there, the Coyotes, and it's good. And see if the 2 points will be perfectly accomplished here.
They make that
and
15
they
on
are.
the day.
Scoreline in the third quarter currently stands 52-44, Coyotes over the Knights. Roughly 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And we see number 7, Laquan Hilton, going for the charge there. But again, solid defense coming from the Cite Coyotes in this third quarter. And Dane, like we said, we knew this game was going to be a very, very intense defensive contested match. And an air ball there, but ball's still in play. And Hilton now has the ball. And ball out of bounds there.
Coyotes didn't like it. They thought that maybe Annalise's arms were interfered with trying to get that pass off. They do have a bit of a case there. It certainly looked like he didn't get that pass off cleanly.
Ball back in play now with the Coyotes. Still in their end, now making their way past center court. And we see number 12, Alex Elliott, charging down the court. Little mix up there by Cite. And nicely converted by the Niagara Knights, 2 points. Bucket made by number 33, Jordan McDonald. Number 9 of the Coyotes going for the 2 points there, no good. Ball still in play, intercepted there by Hilton. Alex Elliott now on his own one-on-one. Ball out of bounds by Cite. And a difficult basket to make there, Dane.
It's certainly tough. From down low, you have to try and get that ball not only out from underneath the net, but up at enough of a height that it is able to drop. It's an awkward angle that's hard to work with.
And we see a timeout here by both teams, trying to get their decks in a row. Once again, Dane, that last quarter, very, very impressive play from both teams.
And be sure to follow at OCAA, actually at the OCAA, for all the updates on Twitter.
They'll be
give you play-by, score-to-score, game-by-game updates in all sports throughout the OCAA.
Very good source to keep up to date on what is happening during this entire competition. And I can very truthfully say, it has been a great source. Always quick on those updates during these games.
It's also handy because they sometimes will come out with information about certain athletes or players that you didn't know you wanted to know until you saw it.
Game is just about to resume once again here, with the Knights having the ball. Knights have the ball in the Coyotes' end. Going for the 2 points there. A great block coming from the Coyotes, but foul conceived by them, unfortunately. A little bit of frustration shown on the players' faces.
Well, they can't be frustrated. They're still ahead by 4 points here, and as we start to enter the later stages of this game.
And we can see here on that last replay, the block coming from the Coyotes. A little bit of a push off there, and that is where the foul was committed.
It's an awkward push off because Nativumbura does it with his underarm. It's not necessarily like a hand. It's not a clear, distinct gesture that you would expect to see that type of a foul be called on.
And now ball is nice ball, number 1. DJ Morrison making his way down the court. A little bit quiet in this third quarter. This being his first appearance during the match, or excuse me, in this quarter right now.
Interesting wardrobe change here. Nativumbura is wearing number 8, and he's actually down on the backcourt.
And we see a little bit of a collision there. May have a potential injury as the game resumes. And finally, the call is now made by the refs. As a player is down, that being Nativumbura, I believe, of the Coyotes.
He's holding his eyes. He looked like he maybe got a.
And we can see there where he was just slightly hit in the face, clearly affecting him at the moment, hoping everything is okay.
Interesting though, he's listed as being number 11, but he's changed his jersey to number 8 during the halftime.
Well, to your point, Dane, a lot of players will get familiarized by certain numbers, so it is sometimes a strategic move made by the coaches to throw off other teams, not anticipating maybe, more coverage, a little bit more less pressure on the player.
Could be an issue of a jersey being, perhaps it was torn. It could be any number of things, really.
And we see number 8, Nativumbura, coming off the court right now. Everything seems to be okay, hopefully. Never good to see that. You get a little bit of a concern, and we always want our players to be healthy and in full shape. So sitting off for a slight moment, but the game show must go on, as they say, and game presumes with the Knights going for the 2 points there, but no good. Ball out of bounds.
Well, Nativumbura will be a big loss for the Coyotes. They'll certainly hope that he's not out for any extended period of time.
Definitely, and like we said, he is the third-year forward who led the OCAA with 98 blocks and is currently second in the league in defensive rebounds with 146 to his credit. So, yeah, there would be a definite loss if he is to sit out for the rest of this match. Scoreline currently 53-52, the Niagara Knights over the Cite Coyotes. And like you said, we can see how this is going to be a very close game. Only a 1-point lead currently, Dane.
Mohawk getting the basket and one.
That being Vikram Kelly taking that shot. And a solid block there coming from Morrison of the Knights. And it worked to their advantage because we see number 7, Laquan Hilton, capitalizing on that opportunity and giving his team 2 points.
If you're the Coyotes coach, you want to think about taking that timeout sometime soon. This game's starting to slip away.
Alex Hilton's great pass to the open, number 35. That being Delroy Grandison of the Niagara Knights, excuse me. Number 9, Cite coming down. Coyotes now have the ball. And we see a bit of a momentum shift here, a little bit more adrenaline kicking in with the players after another cough up there. Number 12, Alex Elliott going in there. What a solid block coming from the Coyotes. Very fast pace there.
Grandison just all kinds of time and patience. Makes an easy drop on that play. And the Knights have extended their lead. They're back in front by 6 points. And understandably so, the Coyotes have decided to call their timeout.
You saw a very quick momentum shift there happen, Dane, as the adrenaline quickly picked up as soon as Nitin Bora went out after succumbing to that injury. Thoughts on this third quarter, Dane?
Looked like all signs were pointing to the Coyotes, but they've really let this one get away from them.
And we see there from the Coyotes on our screen, number 14, Vincent Falardeau, being very vocal with his team. Somewhat quiet during the match, but Falardeau being very, very vocal as a veteran player, instructing his team to stay calm, keep composed. This game can go either way very, very quickly.
Yeah, just don't reach, don't shoot at the ball, be right there.
And we can hear Dane, currently coach of Niagara Knights, saying, don't shoot, that being Keith Vassell, as you see on our screen, instructing his team to just kind of same type of approach that the Coyotes are doing. Remain calm, don't shoot. And we see a little bit of theatrics coming from number 33, Jordan McDonald.
A shout out to the camera. Getting into your living rooms on your screens at home.
Or your mobiles if you're that type of guy or gal.
Yes, he's maybe on the Kipling 191 Rocket, if that's where you are watching on your phone. Coming up here for some great basketball action all day long at the Humber College North Campus.
The Hawks Nest is a great venue, and as we see, it's been performing a great game right now.
I'm sure come 5 o'clock, this building will be packed. The Humber Hawks, a rematch of last year's OCAA gold medal between the Hawks and the Mountaineers. The Hawks actually handed the Mountaineers their first loss this season. They were 9-0 heading into that game.
Humber Hawks being a very, very competitive team. And we see here, though, currently, number 15, the native of Port-au-Prince from Haiti, John Annalise, taking those 2 points and converting them extremely well. Great pass coming from Hilton. 2 points going to the Niagara Knights. Coyotes currently have the ball. Cross-court pass there to Annalise. The ball still in bounds there by number 4 of the Coyotes. And a little bit of pressure there coming. And a foul called by the ref. And we can see number 4 of the Coyotes not pleased with the decision, that being Vilric Kiamba.
I think it might be a backcourt violation against the Coyotes.
Knights currently have the ball in the Coyotes' end. Alex Elliott sending that ball to center court. 35 of the Knights maintaining possession. Delroy Grandison. Still Grandison. Trying to use the backboard to his advantage, but no good. Coyotes now have the ball. Cross-court pass. Pressing the court hard. And one going to the Coyotes. And we see there number 4 of the Cite Coyotes, that being Vilric Kiamba, pressing hard on that last play and working out to the Coyotes' advantage.
50 seconds remaining in this third quarter. These quarters have been going by quickly.
Very fast-paced match. Dane, seems like it just was a couple minutes ago that the first quarter had kicked off. But to your point, 50 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Scoreline 60-54. Niagara over Cite. DJ Morrison of the Knights making his way down the court in Cite's end. And number 7, Hilton, going for that shot, but no good. As the Coyotes make their way back down the court. Going for the three-point shot, but no good. Foul called by the ref. Out of bounds, I believe, by that number being number 14, Vincent Falardeau. Knights ball in the Coyotes' end. Going for the long-range pass there to Hilton, but ball out of bounds.
Hilton trying to make the case that he didn't touch that ball. It was certainly difficult to tell between the hands of him and Lafleur. It went out the backcourt. Although it did happen right in front of the official, he probably had the best look at it and probably made the right call there.
Coyotes currently have the ball, number 9, Ismael. And 2 points going to the Coyotes. And another foul made by the ref. You see a frustration on Hilton, not pleased with that call. A lot of calls going towards Niagara's side currently in this quarter, Dane. And a great basket there by Niagara, as we saw currently on our screen.
Morrison picks that off and tries to fire it.
Trying to go for the buzzer beater, but no good. At the end of the third quarter, scoreline stands 60-56, Niagara Knights over the La Cite Coyotes. And what can we think about that quarter, Dane, as we're dwindling down now, entering the final quarter of play? Still a very close contested match.
Well, don't count either team out yet, and you have to give credit to Morrison for great clock awareness, I would call it there. Looking up, realizing he's got hardly any time at all to work with. The ability to pick that off and fire that ball so quickly is really something that coaches love.
And if you're pleased with the action currently going on here, you got to give great thanks to the Ontario Collegiate Athletic Association. They're the organization that is putting on this fantastic tournament here at Humber College. And again, that is through the province of Ontario, so thank you for them. But we will see you with the last and final remaining quarter here at Humber College at the OCAA Men's Consolation Final.
We provide practical learning in and out of the classroom. We are chefs. We are programmers. We are community builders. We are technicians. We are entrepreneurs. We are Humber.
And welcome back to the OCAA Men's Consolation Final here at Humber College between the Niagara Knights versus the La Cite Coyotes. The scoreline currently stands 60-56, Niagara over the Coyotes. And Dane, only 4 points lead in this last and remaining quarter. What do you think?
It should be interesting to see how this one plays out, especially as we see Nativumbura for the Coyotes still absent from the court. It's a big loss for them if he were to miss the remainder of this game.
And it's interesting how you should say that, Dane, because you saw the sudden shift once he came off the court, and we were talking about how pivotal of a player he was towards his team, and it's actually incredible how certain players can make such a defining impact, and when they're gone, the team being completely different. However, there is still a lot of basketball to be played here, and the game resumes with a foul being called by the ref. It can go either way, as I said. Only a 4-point lead that Niagara currently holds over the Coyotes. Knights ball in Niagara's end. Or excuse me, that is the Coyotes' end. Niagara still having the ball. Going for the 2 points there, and out of bounds by that being number 13 of Niagara Knights, Vikram Kelly. Or Kylie. Lafleur. 3-point shot for the Coyotes, and no good. 3-point attempt. Morrison pressing down the court. Still Morrison. Kylie. Morrison again. Charging the center court. And great rebound coming from 33. Jordan McDonald getting 2 points for his team on that last play. Coyotes now pressing down the court once again. Going for the finger flip off the backboard, and 2 points for the Coyotes. Number 14, Vincent Falardeau. Elliott. Morrison. Kylie. Cross-court pass to Knights player. Number 3, Christopher Jean. Or excuse me, that was Femi Akindele of the Knights. Coyotes now have the ball. And solid defense coming from the Knights there. Double team. And a foul called by the ref. And you can see Morrison knowing exactly what the call was once it was made.
Yeah, looked up to the rafters in disappointment, mostly with himself, it would seem. Now the Coyotes down by 7 here. That one hopping on the top of the backboard a couple times. Everyone here went silent for a second, waiting to see what it would do.
Teasing us here at the Hawks' Nest, but the Knights come back, pressing down the court for 2 points again. Scoreline currently is 67-58. The Niagara Knights over the Cite Coyotes. And we see a foul called there by the referees, number 8, for pushing of the Knights. That being Johan Jenkins. Coyotes at center court, holding onto that ball, still remaining with the ball. Coyotes possession. Nicely intercepted there. And a solid 2 points converted by the Coyotes, that being John Annalise from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Coyotes have the ball, cross-court pass there. Center court, going for the 3-point shot, and it's good. Cite slowly creeping up back on the scoreline towards the Knights, Dane.
Exactly, they are still quite a ways down. They've got themselves back to within 6.
Knights going for the quick 2 points there, but no good. Morrison now going for the 3-point shot, and just shy of the rim. Rolling around, but not falling in the basket. And again, 2 points there by the Coyotes.
Great heads-up play by Hess to recognize that Filardo was standing wide open. Hess drew all the pressure to one side, and it was an easy dish to Filardo. Was able to put that one down.
Lead back down to 4 points now, with the Knights leading 69-65 over the Cite Coyotes. Slowly closing that gap, the Coyotes, going for the 3 points, but no good. And the Coyotes still going for that ball, but the Knights quickly intercept that. Morrison sending the ball down the court there. Still the Knights ball. And foul call there by the ref. No basket, and the ball is no good.
Booking the call. At least that's what it sounded like the referee said. Indowning the ball will be the Coyotes. Down by 4, 6:11 remaining in the fourth quarter.
And we can see bodies slowly flowing in for the next matchup here at Humber College, with an exciting consolation final here quickly to resume.
That one between the Lambton College Lions and the Sheridan College Bruins. The Bruins, the third-ranked team in the nation. They finished first in the OCAA West. Lambton has not medaled in men's basketball since 1992. So a long streak, which they're looking to put to an end today with a bronze medal.
1992 seems not that long ago, but it is approaching its 24th year.
Well, that's older than I am, so it seems like a lifetime ago to me.
It literally is a lifetime for myself, being a 92er. Play resumes as the Knights currently are going to throw this ball back into court with a foul being called there. Hilton now has the ball moving into center court. Losing possession there as the Coyotes quickly counter. 3-on-1. Oh, and a missed play there by number 9 of the Coyotes, that being Hesmael, and he has been great all game there. But an unfortunate missed opportunity that could have easily given them a lead a little bit more.
Hess just jammed that one right in between the edge of the basket rim and the backboard. And a holding call made against Grandison.
La Cite now moving their way down the left side of the court. Number 3 pressing hard at the key. Nice pass, but a solid block coming from number 11 of the Niagara Knights.
Tanero Ferguson, a huge block, comes across and picks up that player at the last second.
And we can see here, Dane, on this last replay, how solid of a block it was. Play resumes with the Coyotes now having the ball in the Knights' end. Slowly readjusting themselves, that being number 3 of the Coyotes, Christopher Jean, instructing his team to get into position. No good, going for that 3 points. Elliott now making his way down the court side again. Grandison still at the top of the key, Elliott. Hilton. Going for the 3-pointer. And no good on that last one, but Elliott gets that ball right back. Scoreline 69-65, Niagara over La Cite, with roughly 4 minutes remaining in the 4th and final quarter of this OCAA Men's Consolation Final.
Inbounded and turned right over to the Coyotes. Hilton couldn't handle it.
Coyotes making their way back down the court now. Losing control there as the Knights make their way down unblocked.
Grandison clearly frustrated with himself, lost the handle on that. He wanted to go for another big dunk.
And solid defending there from number 3 of the Coyotes, that being Christopher Jean. You can see him quickly coming off the court. He's coming to a bit of an injury there, probably a jammed finger. It was a very, very quick move made by Jean to block that last shot.
And that's Ivan Burra still out of this one.
I think it's safe to say, Dane, that he will not be returning for the rest of this match, as you said, with only roughly 4 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, and he has not returned from that last injury. So maybe a bit worse than expected, unfortunately, and hoping everything is okay with him. And one going to the Knights. Six-point lead, the Knights lead over the Coyotes, 71-65 in the 4th quarter. Coyotes now in the Knights' end. Ball out of bounds and slightly missed time there. A little bit of a rush play coming from the Coyotes.
That fire pass over to Gracia came in with a little too much fire behind it. You want to try and jumpstart things and play quickly down low with the score as close as it is toward the end of the game, and wanting to get back in it to put yourself in a position to win.
And we see the Coyotes going over here, and at 2 points, capitalizing on that opportunity, that misplayed completely unmarked.
Huge play by Gracia, makes good on that opportunity.
Elliott now moving down court side. Morrison, Hilton. Hilton instructing his teammates to get in position, and we see there, ball out of bounds now. Miscommunication coming from the Knights, and Hilton is not pleased with that call. Coach of the Niagara Knights losing his patience on that last one as well. Not pleased with his team's performance. Little brash. Coyotes currently have the ball. Going for the shot there. And nice rebound coming from the Coyotes. Solid play there by number 15, Jean Annalise. The Haitian really, really reading the play well there.
A good read, and good to get up to the net and recognize that it wasn't going to drop. Even if it was going to drop, you put yourself in that position just in case, and great speed to get there quickly to do so.
Solid one-hand grab by Hilton there. And ball just rolling off of Hilton's shoe. As a timeout is called by the Knights, and we saw probably a smart decision there by the Knights. Dane, a little bit of, again, once momentum shift. It's been going back and forth all game, but now the Coyotes really pressing it to the Knights. And look at that score line. What do you know? 71-69. Niagara currently leads over the Coyotes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very close consolation final here.
Well, this is the closest it's been in a while. The Coyotes drawing back within 2 points. It should be an interesting last 3 minutes of this one.
And you can see here, Dan, on that last basket, smart move by Annalise. That ball was going out of bounds, and great way to just jump and basically breaking right through the Knights. No one covering on that, which was a little surprising.
Getting his own rebound, I think what he did was, by letting go of that jump shot, fooled everyone into thinking that there was no way he could be back in that play for at least a couple more seconds. As soon as that ball left his hand, he knew he'd made a mistake. He had to get up there quickly to recover.
Well, that is the signs of a veteran player, and the Haitian has been doing quite well during this entire matchup, really showing his team his skills and expertise of the game. And as the buzzer signals the players to come back to court, play will resume.
Rejoining the, which he earned Player of the Game honors.
We both see Elliott and Falardeau both at center court, getting quite physical. A little bit of shoving and pushing there. Coyotes now making their way back up the court. On the right-hand side, cross-court pass to Lafleur of the Coyotes. Going for the three-point shot there. And just off the riff, rebounded play by the Coyotes. 2 points converted by zero, Paul Lafleur.
Both teams have timeouts left as we approach the 2-minute mark of this one. That pass just in behind Mael.
Misplaced pass there by the La Cite Coyotes.
Mael a little too quick on that one.
No longer on the court, or yes, excuse me, my apologies. Number 0, Paul Lafleur, making a quick impact, and as you can see here on this last play, really getting up there quickly to get those 2 points. I was always curious why players would choose the number 0. Never really understood it.
Well, it's one of those numbers that's still allowed in basketball and sometimes football. I don't know, in the CFL it is. In hockey, not so much anymore. They got rid of that. Martin Biron was the last player to wear 00.
And speaking about the 0, we see Paul Lafleur there of the La Cite Coyotes controlling his team, sending a cross-court pass, but ball no good. Foul made by the Knights.
It's been a while since we've seen a shot from the foul line. There really were not many opportunities during the third quarter, and now in the fourth, this is certainly the first time we've seen it.
And there's one for La Cite, that being number 9, Hesmael, taking that shot and going for the second point. And no good. And points like that, they really need to convert.
That could prove to be a huge loss.
Scoreline currently is 72-71 with the La Cite Coyotes taking the lead now from the Niagara Knights. Fourth quarter with roughly a minute left. Game separated by separated by 1 point. Coyotes pressing down the court. Now the Knights have the ball. Dane, this is going to be an exciting last minute remaining. Only 1 point separating both teams. Could go either way very easily.
Could go into overtime as well. Yesterday we saw Mohawk and Lambton go into 3 overtimes. Mohawk finally winning that one 116 to 115.
La Cite, great defending from the Coyotes, now pressing up court. And once again, the Knights still in the Knights' favor. And a foul committed by the Knights, and a great opportunity for La Cite to take the lead here.
Esmael to the line again.
If Mael does convert both these shots on the free throw line, that will be a deciding factor for this match. Very close.
You can see that foul there as he misses that shot.
First shot, no good. And that second one converted.
Now the Knights have called a timeout with everything all tied up at 73s.
Very, very exciting last quarter here at the OCAA Men's Consolation Final hosted by Humber College at the Hawks Nest. And Dane, what a way to end the match. My goodness, 73-73 Niagara against La Cite. And we said right from the get-go that this was going to be a very, very close match. We knew that both teams are coming in here with both being very defensively driven. And needless to say, it has been. The teams are currently tied.
Yeah, I know, Mark, you're a busy guy and you've got lots of stuff to do, but we might have to keep you here a little longer. If this game continues the way it's been, I'd say all signs are pointing to perhaps maybe an extra quarter here.
We may have to go into sudden death overtime. So, ladies and gentlemen, who knows what these last remaining 40 seconds will leave for us. And if you are a basketball enthusiast, you will know very well that these 40 seconds will not be 40 seconds. You are looking at a close minute because this last couple of seconds in a b-ball match will be the final deciders and will seem like a lifetime.
And the Coyotes still have a timeout left, so we could be here for at least the last 41 seconds of this fourth quarter could take upwards of 3 to 5 minutes. So
well, we'll just have to wait and see. The Knights currently have the ball. Elliott passing to center court to Morrison. Morrison has the ball now with an opening there to convert there. And 2 points going for the Knights.
A huge 2 points by DJ Morrison. We've not seen a lot of him in the second half, but he's made his impact known when he's needed it.
What an opportunity for the Knights to convert there, and a gap opening in the La Cite Coyotes court. And if we see here on this, we see here on this replay that opening there that Morrison perfectly executed there and really capitalizing on that. Kind of lost at what happened during that last play by La Cite.
He wasn't interfered with as well. He didn't necessarily get as much off on that ball as he would have liked in making the shot, but it didn't matter.
The native of Scarborough, Ontario, the guard Dave Morrison going for the free throw and converting the and one. Score line currently 76-73 Niagara over La Cite.
Puts the Coyotes in a tough spot now.
25 seconds remaining roughly with La Cite now in the Knights court. La Cite rushing that court off the backboard and a beautiful 2 points.
So the referee adding a second and 1.6 seconds to the clock. 19 on the clock now as Niagara has the ball.
1 point lead, great pass there from the Knights. Morrison now having the ball. And we can see La Cite fouling very quickly there. Obviously a common play there with the last couple seconds, foul the opposing team to get that ball back quickly.
.9 left on the clock.
And Morrison converting that free throw. And Morrison converts both. 2 points going to Niagara. As a timeout is called by La Cite, and that comes at no surprise, Dane.
Down by 3 once again.
And we can see here currently the coaching staff of La Cite explaining to their team, this is it. This is it. 14 seconds remaining on the clock roughly. Scoreline 78-75 Niagara over La Cite. 3 point lead. And it all comes down to that decision whether you go for the 3 point shot or hopefully go for the 2 points and foul quickly in anticipation that you may be able to get a couple of free throws in there or shots from the top of the key.
Well, credit given where credit is due, regardless of how this one ends. Tom Hodge, who you see on the screen now, he has to take a lot of credit this year for what he's managed to do. Turn this team around from a 3-17 record last year to being the OCAA East champions with a 16-4 record. He gets the OCAA East Coach of the Year honor. Tom Hodge is doing some wonderful things in our nation's capital.
And like you said, Dane, you can't go away with this game being upset about too much. Both these teams came into today's match with tremendous ability, tremendous skill, very strongly defensively minded teams. So it is safe to say that regardless how the scoreline ends here, both teams can be proud with themselves and hold their heads up high. La Cite has the ball. Number 9, Hesmael of La Cite. winding down the clock, going for the three-point. He's winding it down. 7 seconds remaining roughly. Charging the court, going for that shot. 2 seconds, going for the three-point shot. And it is no good. Final score at the end of this matchup. The Niagara Knights defeating the La Cite Coyotes 78-75. 3-point lead. Dane, what can we say about this fantastic match?
I'm speechless. You know, it's maybe that was not the best move at the end there. Go for the three. Mael, he's missed a number of the threes that he took in the last little bit of this game here. Couldn't nail down that three-point buzzer beater like he had yesterday. Just a tough break for the Coyotes to have their season end this way.
Well, Dan, we said right from the get-go that this match was going to be a highly defensive game, and needless to say, that was proven. Both teams ending the scoreline extremely close and just being absolutely fantastic. Great game all around. The scoreline going back and forth with Niagara taking the lead numerous amounts of time and La Cite taking the lead numerous amount of times. But in the end, the final score, 78-75 towards the Knights over the La Cite Coyotes. And we can see here quickly a recognition from the OCAA executive staff.
So we do have some awards to get out to the players.
Their player of the game, number 6, Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia getting the player of the game honor for the Coyotes.
On the side of the La Cite Coyotes, we would also like to recognize Andre Nicholas Timbembura. Including these playoffs and the regular season, he finished with 110 blocks. A very remarkable establishment.
Timbembura coming out to receive an award as well. You can see that left eye is looking a little swollen.
The player of the game for the Niagara Knights, number 33, Jordan McDonald.
Jordan McDonald getting player of the game honors for the Knights.
And to no surprise, but we're going to Mr. McDonald. We saw him earlier in the day. He was always very positive, getting his team amped up. We saw his little performance in front of our cameras earlier, and rightfully so. All smiles on Mr. McDonald.
Congratulations to both teams on remarkable performances this weekend.
Jordan, a sportsman as well, giving his
fellow comrades,
respect given where it's due. You know,
and like you said,
team
Dane,
player there.
it was a very close game, and it's always great to see that sportsmanship coming from both teams. Every team wants to win, but in the end, it is a sportsmanship game, and it's always great to see.
And once again, a shout out, thank you to BRTV. They help us put on these productions and really make all these tournaments, you being able to watch them, possible. So to the broadcast television and radio program here at Humber College, we thank you.
Very much. And like again, it was a great game, but that is not all for today. There are a number of matches to come up during the rest of the day with the hometown Humber Hawks to play later in the day. But the final score for this one, the win going to the Niagara Knights over the La Cite Coyotes. And we will see you soon. My name and Natalie Soberman, I believe, has one of the players with us to speak very briefly. Natalie, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. I'm joined by DJ Morrison, a former Humber Hawk. Great to see you back here. But let's talk about you for a second. 12 points, 4 assists, 7 of those points coming in the fourth quarter. And then you come into this game and there's 10 lead changes and 11 ties. How important was it for you to finish this game strong?
It was very important for the team to finish. You know, like, it's our last game. We finished well in the season. We had a great season. Unfortunately, we lost in the first round. So we just wanted to bring our last game home with a win, you know. And there's Jordan, you know, he always plays well for us.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to come out and give it my all. It's our last game. Just win. Play as a team, we win as a team, bring the last game home. That's how we do it.
Well, you guys set the tone early on, even though it was a loss, but it was a phenomenal performance against the Bruins. But how do you feel to be part of a division in the West that is so strong that you were able to topple the #1 team from the East?
It actually felt really good. especially because Niagara wasn't really on the map last year. So to go from not really being recognized last year to this year, teams having to watch out for us, it feels really good to know that we can compete with every team in the league, and just got to come back next year and come stronger.
Thank you for joining us. Have a safe trip home, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us on the BRTV production of the OCAA Men's Provincial Basketball Championships. Signing off for the boys in the booth, I'm Natalie Stoberman. We'll see you next game.